Uh, Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this symposium. And my name is Hiroyuki Obari. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. Today, I will focus on the flipped classroom, blended learning with mobile technologies. This is my outline. I have divided my presentation into 6 parts: research question, pedagogy, and paradigm shift, and what the flipped lessons are, a case study, and then conclusion. And my research question is, are blended and flipped learning activities with mobile devices useful in improving English proficiency? And now let me explain the pedagogy and the technology-enhanced learning. How can you learn a foreign language? I think it's first-person experiences. If the teachers are so busy teaching many things, the student won't learn. And also, the comprehensive input I+1 is very important. That's why the mobile learning comes in. And also ICT and mobile technologies. And also, this is a very important theory, the social constructivism, the new knowledge through social interaction and exchange information, according to Barr, 1995 and 2003. And also, according to Piaget, we can build ideas through experiential learning. That's what it's all about, and then task-based and the project-based learning. So the teacher have to be a facilitator, curator, or mentor, rather than teaching or giving some lot of information. And the definition of a flipped lesson, I think you are familiar with this, but the flipped lesson describes a reversal of traditional teaching where students gain first exposure to new material outside of class, usually via reading or lecture videos, and then class time is used to do the harder work of assimilating that knowledge through strategies such as problem solving, discussion, or debates. And in Japan, in 2014, I think everyone has a smartphone. 100%. And then, but mainly the 90% for iPhone and the 10% for the Android phone. Whereas the iPod only 30%, the student could afford to get it. But in my case, my dean is so generous, so he provided us about 45 iPads free of charge, so that student could use for 2 years. And I have 25 students for junior, and then 20 for seniors. And I gave a sort of questionnaire about e-learning. And do you think learning English with mobile device is effective? About 90% says among the 350 students around in Tokyo. And the second question is, do you have enough knowledge to utilize mobile devices for language learning? Only 30%. They are not taught how to use a mobile phone to learn languages. That's why I think we have to keen on pedagogy and technology side. We have to provide some certain pedagogy and also technology, otherwise mobile learning wouldn't be so effective. And let me introduce a case study. The third-year student majoring in economics, 25% took part in this project last year. And this is for the sort of learning activities. I decided to use a lecture related to digital text with iPad, and also study the vocabulary with Cori. This Cori is a special software developed in California, and also more or less if you use a Cori, you could study some certain vocabulary related lecture related to. And then the Doodle Castro making movies. Always whenever they listen to the lecture, they make PowerPoints, and at the same time they have to make a movie. And then the PPT presentation in the classroom, and TED Talks, a summary, and then at the same time they have to make 3 slides with PPTs, and they have to make a presentation in the classroom. And as for the mobile learning, Newton's e-learning kit, that's a very important software. So students spend about 50 hours outside of the class to study this. And then the global voice call, it's a speech recognition stuff. This software could teach us how to brush up on our prosodic features and also segmental features. And the ETL call bricks, it's a sort of a software. You see that we could take a full-size TOEIC test, 4 full-size TOEIC. That's why I usually give them a pre-test and post-test. And then the speaking test, also OPIC computer speaking test, is provided for the student in order to check how much they are improving their speaking skills. So this is a sort of a flipped classroom mainly. Presentation, discussion, interaction seem to be the center of our classroom activities. And just Newton's e-learning, I will show you the sort of video.
Accustomed.
I
they could use mobile phone to study the TOEIC, listening, and the grammar and other things. That's Android phone.
They are holding hands.
They could listen. Also, they could practice a listening test on the iPad. And I gave a sort of questionnaire to 90 students, and 81% they thought this was very useful to learn English, And also the TED Talks. I often use them, so students have to listen the TED Talk and then write a summary, about 10 summaries, and then plus three slides, and then involved in the discussion. And they like also the TED Talks. It's very useful in learning English, about 91%. And this is a digital text side. How many people are using digital text? I think last year the OUP, Oxford University Press, published this digital textbook. And the student, usually use iPad, listen to this lecture, just like this.
Discuss some of the reactions by businesses to these differences. So, we're going to see lots of differences. And the main reason I want to focus on gender differences
And also this is a CORI. CORI is a software to study the vocabulary. This is directly related to the digital text. And there are 10 lectures, So the vocabulary they could study with this CORI. And the 74% they said it seemed to be useful learning English, That's a classroom activity. Just I will show you.
House. But now, when women and men are working
At the same time, 5 groups, students are engaged in the presentation.
is also the reason for why people feel.
And I gave a sort of a pre and post test and the speaking test. Just let me briefly just tell you. This is a CEFA level, B1. In the beginning, in April, their level of English is B1. And then after 10 months period of instruction, they went up to B2. 577 to 758 over 10 months period of instruction. So in the CEFA level, B1 to B2. Right? That's it. And just like this, everyone is improving the score. Okay. So and OPIC speaking assessment. It's a speaking test. There are 9 levels from low to advanced low. And just 48 students could take the speaking test at the same time, just like this. They set in the computer for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then you see, in a week we could get the result of the speaking test. And they improved about 24% overall. And the global voice, it's a sort of speech recognition, so I'm learning short of the time, so just I skip this. And the blended and flipped learning activities using mobile devices useful in improving English proficiency? Yes, according to the TOEIC improvement, also speaking improvement. So in conclusion, I would say education for the 21st century is blended and flipped learning are very useful, and then integrating me learning and e-learning is significantly effective to improve English language proficiency. And then integration of social learning and the mobile technology helps students to foster autonomous learners. And then lastly, people can create new knowledge and learn through social interaction and exchange information. I actually use Facebook and then Line together. I think that's all.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much.